As I've continued to grow older, I've noticed my taste in anime has changed a bit. Don't worry, I'm not trying to infer that my tastes have become more refined or anything like that. It's just now that I've noticed I've started preferring more slow burn anime over fast-paced, over-the-top shows. And may I say, that's kind of crazy. I used to be obsessed with shonen anime. Like, it was my second favorite genre of anime behind maybe shoujo because, well, I used to be, well, still am a hopeless romantic. Nevertheless, I found myself slipping more and more into the realm of slice-of-life comedies and even slice-of-life dramas. Shows like Mushishi, Tanaka-kun, and even Usagi Drop have steadily creeped their way up my list into some of my top anime. I find myself, when given a chance, rewatching these shows over anything else. So, inevitably, when reading the description of Somali and the Forest Spirit, I knew this show was going to be something I liked. But I didn't expect it to be something like this. Somali pretty quickly ended up becoming my favorite anime of the season. Sorry, Eizouken. And I just really wanted to talk about why this anime is so amazing. But frankly, it's really hard to put into words. Then again, this is kind of my job. So let's try and talk about Somali and the Forest Spirit. One of the first things that this show does that separates it from most is the premise. Basically, humans are an endangered species in a world filled to the brim with other intelligent creatures. But this is no accident. As we quickly find out, humans raged an unwanted war against all other creatures out of nothing but fear, and basically drove themselves to near extinction. Somali is a human child who is found and taken in by a stone golem. Golems are typically guardians of the forests, more akin to plants than other typical creatures. Nevertheless, our golem decides to take Somali in as his daughter, and begins his quest to find any surviving tribes of humans who will raise her. The world created by the writer feels epic in size. Each episode they are roaming across these vast cities, deserts, underground libraries, all in hopes of finding some dwindling existence of humans. But each episode, it just seems more and more impossible. The world feels so incredibly vast, yet completely empty of humans. And as the show goes on, it begins to argue that that may actually be a good thing. Humans were known as one of the most violent creatures on the planet, refusing to understand that any of the other species were intelligent and relegating them to being merely monsters. This obviously led to a war where the humans were driven to near extinction. The hatred for humans had been drilled into their society so much so that hunting remaining human villages ended up becoming a sport. And now, more than ever, they are nearly impossible to find. So, that's the quest. Explore this vast world in hopes of finding one of the remaining tribes of humans to raise Somali. This show takes some time to explore a few different topics, my favorite being what is emotion. You see, Gollum is an interesting character. Golems in this world lack any kind of emotion and are unable to feel empathy. However, this quickly becomes a questionable fact. We see Gollum taking pity on Somali and even take up the challenge of finding people to raise her. Due to Golum's general lack of emotion, when his movements and tones subtly change in scenes of distress, these feel like massive emotional beats. For instance, in one scene a character is trying to kill Somali, and although he doesn't say anything, you can tell from his subtly increased pace and how unusually quiet he is while chasing her down, that if he catches her, he is going to brutally kill this character who dared laid a hand on his precious Somali. Yet he seems to always repeat the line that golems lack emotion, almost to the point where it's become a joke. As the series progresses, we see how ridiculously cautious he is with Somali. He really becomes her father, and seeing Somali innocently try to comprehend the scale and danger of the world, it's comforting to know that Gollum is there to help her survive and keep her safe, at least for the time being. However, as expected, there is a catch. Our Gollum friend is very near the end of his lifespan and only has a set number of days to find someone to take care of Somali. To be specific, less than 2 years, and as the anime goes on, we get to visibly see that timer drain quickly. This is the main driving force we see between Gollum and Somali. Gollum is hiding the fact that his time is limited and has even lied to Somali, telling her that he will always be there for her. It's heart-wrenching to watch Gollum struggle to hide just how little time they have together and how important it is for them to find a human village to raise her. By the way, another great topic this show kind of covers is this idea of discrimination. From what the show has described, humans are increasingly rare, and most of the creatures around today have never seen one. So, Somali is often easy to hide in plain sight. She just wears little horns, and the only people who've been able to figure it out are those who have spent an excessive amount of time with her or have been near other humans. But this doesn't work out like most would expect. Frankly, when most of the other creatures find out that she is human, it doesn't really change much. After all, these creatures are mostly not that violent, and the battles between humans and the rest of the creatures happened a long time ago. Of course, there are a few bad apples, but for the most part, we see that the world is fairly accepting of anyone. After all, they are a crazy diverse species, so it would only be natural. The hatred for humans was clearly created by other humans, and we see a perfect case with Somali, a girl who is raised by the creatures of now, not the humans, and frankly, she fits right in. The show is starting to ask this question that, is it really a good thing for Somali to be brought to a village of humans? I mean, as of right now, she is literally this cute ball of love and joy that no one could possibly hate. So is it really a good thing to leave her in the hands of people who are known for indoctrinating hate for all except their own? All because they are her people? The show hasn't answered this question yet, but I'm sure it's soon to come up. And I think this is the big question that the show will lean on for its finale. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this anime is not for everyone. For me personally, I love great characters and detailed world building. Not to mention, this father-daughter dynamic they have going on just creates an insanely high number of adorable moments that I can't help but smile at. And like I've been saying, it's not an anime about nothing. It has real sustenance, and I can't wait to see how they answer some of these long-standing questions. But by no means is this a fast-paced anime. It is absolutely a slow burn show that creates scenes of intensity not through action and screaming, but through silence and drama. And that's a key difference. Look, my point is that if you're like me, then don't sleep on Somali and the Forest Spirit. Thank you guys for watching. A huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are my heroes. Please make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime. Make sure you guys stay man and go watch that goddamned anime.